We're going to look this week about discards, and I'm going to start with this hand that I sent out as a quiz at the weekend. It was a hand where, when it was played recently, everyone made 3 no trump, although it can be defeated. No one managed to do so. So let's have a look at this from East's point of view. And the problems that are coming up today are all about discarding, what to discard, how to interpret your partner's discards, and discard the right thing. And as I've often mentioned, I think probably more tricks are lost by failing to discard the right thing than in any other aspect of bridge. So let's have a look at this hand where South has ended in 3 no trump, and your partner leaves the Queen of Spades, and down comes dummy, and you need to make a plan here about what you're going to, how you're going to defend. Now, you can see that Queen of Spades is probably top of a sequence. Presumably your partner's got Queen Jack 10 and some other spades. So let's suppose Declarer plays the 5 from dummy, and let's suppose you play the 7 to encourage. Okay, so your partner holds the first trick with the Queen. They play another spade and they play the ace from dummy. And you've got the first key decision to make on this hand, which is what spade are you going to play? And you might automatically play low, but if you have a think for a minute, you should realize that your partner has a sequence of spades with probably more spades than you started with, and you need to think about unblocking. They're sitting there with the Jack 10-9, presumably something like that in spades. And if I click on the GIB button, you'll see that the only way you can defeat this contract is to unblock here, play the king here. Otherwise, you'll end up winning that king at some point, and you won't have any more spades. So it's because you've got 2 cards here that you must unblock. So that's the first thing you've got to get right on this hand. Declarer gets in and now starts playing clubs. And when he plays clubs, you're going to have to find some discards here. And you've got to think about what you've got to hang on to and what you should discard. And it's not easy. The first thing I would think is that you should keep your 3 of spades, because if you ever gain the lead, then you want to be able to lead a spade over to your partner's long spade suit. And the other suit that you probably ought to keep is your diamonds. I know it's very tempting to try to keep your hearts because they're quite strong, but it's almost certainly right that you should discard your hearts and keep your 4 diamonds. You're keeping length with dummy here because you've got 4 diamonds, and you can see 4 in dummy. It's almost certainly right for you to try to keep those diamonds. So if they keep playing clubs, you should start by discarding your hearts. You might discard the 6 here, which is slightly high to sort of encourage your partner if you do gain the lead, if he does gain the lead, to say you'd like a heart played. But Declarer carries on with another club. You play the 5 there, indicating you were indeed giving an encouraging signal on the first one. And if another club is played, again, you've got to discard, and the suit you have to keep is again your diamonds, and you need to discard the heart here. Now, when Declarer, having played the clubs, if they start playing diamonds, they will can take 3 tricks here. But if I bring up the 4 hands at this point, you can see, because you've kept your Jack of diamonds, they can't make a trick with the 9. So whatever they play here now, if they do play another diamond, you'll win that one. And you can now cash the ace of hearts. And because you've got the 3 of spades, you can lead that over to your partner's 10 and Jack. And played correctly, although it's not an easy defense, you can hold Declarer to 8 tricks there. If you have a look at this from Declarer's point of view, you can see they've got 4 club tricks, ace, king, queen, jack. They've got 3 diamonds, ace, king, queen, and they've got the ace of spades. So they have 8 tricks. And if you discard the diamond, if you fail to just keep your 4th diamond, they can make a 9th trick in diamonds there. So quite a lot to get right there. And it's quite interesting. When I was looking at this hand, I was thinking, is there any situation where you would do better to discard your diamonds and keep your hearts? And I thought, well, what if, for example, De Clara's hearts are better? Well, it's still the case that even if De Clara's hearts are quite good, a bit better here, that it's still right for you to keep your diamonds and discard the hearts. One way to think about this is that De Clara's probably never going to play the hearts themselves. You can see from your holding as East, you've got very good hearts, and it's very likely that De Clara's likely to try to make their tricks in diamonds and not make them in hearts. And if you keep your 4 diamonds, keep length with dummy, you can stop De Clara making a 9th trick there. Anyone have any comments or questions on that? That's quite a difficult defense, because it's very tempting to try to keep your keep your hearts, but it's actually the diamonds that's actually more important there.
Tony?
Yeah.
I just had a thought. I mean, in East position, after that, wait a minute, South bids one. Oh no, never has a chance to bid the hearts. I mean, if they were to show the hearts in any way,
Yeah,
but they can't because it's
no,
gone
they
too
don't have
high
a chance
already.
to get it, yeah.
Not going to happen, is it? No. Okay.
Okay. Let's have a look at this one here. And this time we're in a suit contract. And the bidding was 1 spade by South. You overcalled 2 hearts, but North jumped to 4 spades. And even though you've got a pretty nice hand, you can't really bid anymore after that. So you make your opening lead of the ace of hearts, and down comes dummy, and you can see De Clara's got a pretty good dummy there. In particular, they've got a lot of spades. So let's see how many hearts we can take. We take the ace. My partner plays the 2 there to discourage, but I've got the king and the queen, so let's carry on. We'll take the king, and suppose we play the queen, and your partner follows, and De Clara ruffs. Okay, so now De Clara turns their attention to trumps, and they lead a spade here over to the king, and they play a spade back, and you've got to find your first discard here. And the easy suit to discard here is the hearts, because De Clara has already ruffed a heart in their own hand, and there are no hearts in dummy. So you definitely want to get rid of those hearts. They're a liability if you really never want to lead hearts. So we'll start by playing a heart here. And the other thing that's going on here is that De Clara has already drawn trumps, but they're plugging away at trumps. So either they've miscounted, or they're deliberately playing out the spades, which is what's happening here, to give you or your partner discarding problems. So let's suppose they carry on in that vein. You throw away another heart, your partner throws away a diamond, another spade is played, and let's suppose you play a club there. Okay, and now De Clara plays yet another trump. Okay, this is actually the last trump, and I've got the first poll of the evening, which is, what are you going to discard on this last spade? Are you going to discard a diamond or a club? So have a little think about it, and I'm going to launch a poll now. And the question is, what should West discard? Okay, let me end the poll there, and I will share the results with you. And 64% went for a diamond and 36% went for a club. Well, let's see what we think about it. Well, you can't obviously keep both. And the question is, where are you more likely to have a trick here? And the answer is that you're very unlikely to have a diamond trick here, because there were only ever 2 diamonds in dummy. So if declarer had extra diamonds in their hand, more than 2 diamonds in their hand, they presumably wouldn't be playing this way. If they had a loser in diamonds, they would be playing the diamonds and ruffing. So this, if you like, is another example of keeping length with dummy. And if I bring up the 4 hands, you'll see that declarer indeed has not got any diamond losers. Their only other loser is a club loser. And if you make the mistake of discarding a club here, then they can actually make all the remaining tricks here. So what you have to do is keep length with dummy and discard a diamond here. Declarer can play the diamonds, take the last 2 diamonds, but at the end, they will lose a club to you, provided you have kept the right thing. So this contract can never be defeated, but you can hold declarer to 10 tricks if you keep your clubs. And the clue there was looking at the doubleton diamond in dummy. And you must realize that if declarer had an extra diamond in the hand, king 9 and something else, they would not be playing off all these trumps like this. They would be roughing a diamond. And when they don't do that, it is presumably because they've got something like this. And you do best to keep your clubs, because you can see 3 clubs in dummy. Any comments or questions on that? Well done to the 2/3 of you who got the right answer there.
There's one other reason for doing it.
Yeah.
You know from his opening bid that South has got the ace of clubs and the king of diamonds, because otherwise he wouldn't have enough points to open. Okay. If you know he's got the ace of clubs, then he's definitely got a 3rd trick in clubs there.
Yeah.
If you discard your jack or your queen.
That is a good deduction as well. Yes, the west hand here is extremely strong. So you should realize that for South to have an opening bid there, they presumably have all the missing points. So yeah, that's a good thought as well there. Thank you. Let's try this one. This time we're going to look at it from East point of view. And here South opened with a weak 2 spades, which was raised to 4 spades by North. And your partner has led the queen of clubs. And down comes dummy, and we see a very nice dummy from declarer's point of view, I would say. So think about it. South's got a relatively weak hand, but they have 6 spades, and there's very nice holding in the North hand. Anyway, let's have a little think about this. Where are we likely to make tricks? Well, let's suppose we're hoping to make some club tricks here. Let's give an encouraging signal on my partner's queen of the 8, and they carry on with another club. So let's play the 4 there, and declarer unfortunately roughs this one. So that's a bit of bad news. We only made 1 club trick. And now declarer turns their attention to trumps, and they start off with the ace of spades. They play the 2 of spades, and I've got the second poll of the evening for you now. What should you discard on the 2 of spades? What suit are you going to discard on the 2 of spades? Results with you? And most people have gone for a club, 79%, with a smaller number, 5 people going for a heart and 1 person choosing a diamond. And of course, yes, you are perfectly safe here to discard a club. Declarer, your partner led the queen, and declarer's already ruffed, so your clubs are useless. And there's absolutely no point keeping them. What you want to do on this hand is keep length with dummy, and you actually have 2 4-card suits, hearts and diamonds, and you can see 2 4-card suits in dummy, and you need to keep your 4-card suits if you can, and at the same time your clubs are completely useless, as most of you realize. So although beginners hate throwing away cards like aces and kings, it's absolutely clear that that's what you have to do here. So they play another trump here, and again, of course, you can discard your ace of clubs this time. They play another spade here. Your partner follows, and now you are going to have to discard from a 4-card suit. However, you're fortunate in the sense that North is going to have to play before you. So what you're going to do is keep length with dummy. Whatever is discarded from the North hand, you're going to discard the same suit. So if they discard a diamond, you discard a diamond. Okay. And let's actually bring up the 4 hands at this point. You can see, sorry, after that point here, you can see that declarer is going to make the remaining spade. Got 2 diamonds, and he's got at least 3 hearts. But by playing the trumps first and forcing you to discard, if you had discarded a heart here, he actually could have made all the remaining heart tricks. He's got the ace, king, queen. But if you follow the discards as made by dummy, then declarer won't be able to make all those hearts. So they might play their hearts now. Okay, but they get a bad break, and you've kept the 4th heart. So whatever happens now, they can take 2 diamonds, they can ruff a diamond, but when they play their hearts, they can only make 1 more trick, and you'll make the last trick with your 10. So again, you can't stop declarer making 11 tricks here, but if you had discarded a heart here, then declarer could have made 1 more. They would have made all the hearts, all the spades, 2 diamonds, and just lost 1 trick in clubs. But that was an example of you finding the right discard in clubs, first of all, which were useless once declarer's ruffed, and then trying to keep length with dummy. If you had been having this holding in the west hand and declarer had played the same way, then it would not have been so easy for you, because you would have may have had to discard from hearts or diamonds before the discard was made from the north hand. So that it wouldn't be possible for you to match whatever was discarded. But here, you're discarding after dummy, so you can try and keep length with dummy there. Do interrupt me if you're having any comments on that one. And let's have a look at this one. This is a no trump one, and it's gone 1 no trump, 3 no trump, and your partner leads the queen of clubs. So again, that looks like that's top of a sequence, and declarer wins this one with the king. And your first thing is, which club are you going to play? Well, you've got nothing to help your partner with here, so we'll play the 2, saying I've got no help for you in clubs. And declarer now plays diamond. So they lead a low diamond, they take their jack, they play the king, and they play a 3rd diamond, which your partner wins with the ace. Okay, and I've got the 3rd poll for you here, which is, what are you going to discard on the ace of diamonds? Which suit are you going to discard on the ace of diamonds? And this one is pretty evenly divided. The majority have gone for a spade, 48%, with 26% going for a heart and 26% going for a club. And the question is, why are you going to discard something, and what message are you going to give to your partner? Your partner is about to win this trick with the ace of diamonds, and which suit would you like them to switch to now? Well, from looking at dummy and your hand, I hope it's obvious that the suit you want them to play is a heart. You want them, of course, to lead a heart now, because you've got the king jack trapped in dummy, and you actually have hopes to make all these heart tricks if your partner switches to a heart. So how are we going to indicate to my partner that we would like a heart? Well, there are two ways of doing this. You might play a high-ish heart, playing standard signals high to encourage, maybe the 10 or the 8. But there's a danger that would possibly waste a trick. So the other discard you can make is a low card in a suit you don't want. You've already told your partner you're not interested in clubs. So this is a chance for you to tell your partner you're also not interested in spades. And I hope you can see from your partner's point of view that they really have no clue, other than watching your discard, as to which suit they should switch to once they've taken the ace of diamonds. They've actually played very well here by holding up their ace of diamonds and giving you now a chance to discard. And what you're going to discard is a low spade, if you're playing standard discards, to say, partner, I have no interest in spades. And that's probably better than wasting possibly a trick with the 10 or the 8 of hearts. So if your partner gets that message that you weren't interested in clubs and that you're showing no interest in spades, you hope that they will now get the message and play a heart. And because of the way the hearts lie, you can, of course, win that one, take your ace, and also take the 10, and the 8 is also good. And you can take 5 tricks that way. Whatever you play now, Declarer will win and can cash the remaining tricks, but you will defeat Declarer by 1 trick if they take if they switch to a heart when they get in with the ace of diamonds. So normally you can signal encouragement in a suit by playing a highish card, but the other way is to discourage the other suits. And you've already discouraged clubs with the 2. And if you discourage spades now with the 2 of spades, hopefully your partner will get a message, get the right message, and switch to a heart when they win the ace of diamonds. Any comments on that? Hopefully your partner will not continue in clubs either, because they can see there's still a high top card in dummy. So there's not much point continuing with that either. And finally, here's the last hand of the evening, and this is quite a tricky one. It's gone 2 no trump, 3 no trump here, and you're on lead. And let's suppose you lead the king of diamonds, and I always like to have a little look at dummy, see if that was a reasonable bid. Dummy's got a nice club suit, 1, 2, 3, and 6 points, so it seems like that they're in a reasonable contract here. Anyway, let's see what happens. You lead the king of diamonds. Your partner plays the 7, and Declarer plays the 10. Let's suppose we play another diamond, the queen. Your partner plays the 3, and Declarer wins that one with the ace. So 2 rounds of diamonds have gone. Your jack of diamonds is now high, and possibly your other diamonds too. So let's have a little think about this. Declarer now starts playing on clubs, and unfortunately they have the ace of clubs here. So they take their ace, they play another club over to the king, and they play the queen of clubs, and your partner discards the 4 of hearts. Declarer plays the 5, and you've got to find a discard here. And unfortunately, you have two queens here, the Queen of Spades and the Queen of Hearts. Both of those could be a stopper, but you can't keep them both guarded and keep your diamonds. So the question is going to be, what are you going to discard on this club trick? And there's a clue here, which is your partner's discard of the Four of Hearts. So what does that Four of Hearts mean? The other clue is you should think about who has the Ace of Hearts and who has the King of Hearts. And what should you discard now? So here's the last poll of the evening. What are you going to discard now? What did that Four of Hearts show? And what do you think you should now discard? Okay, let's share the results with you. And as you can see, it's a pretty even result. 44% went for a spade, 30% went for a heart, and 26% went for a diamond. Let's see what we think about this. Well, what is that discard of the Four of Hearts? The Four of Hearts is your partner's lowest heart, because you can see the 3-2 in dummy. So the question is, why did your partner play the Four of Hearts? If there is any meaning behind that, it should mean that they do not have the Ace or the King of Hearts. It should really mean that Declarer has got both of those two cards. So Declarer has, if you put interpretation into your partner's Four of Hearts, then that probably means that Declarer has the Ace and King of Hearts. And you unfortunately can't guard both your queens and keep your diamonds. So if you imagine that Declarer has got the Ace and King of Hearts, you should probably keep your hearts guarded, because it's quite likely that in doing so, you will stop Declarer making the heart trick. You'll be able, that will be a stopper, if you like, that Queen of Hearts. So you don't really want to discard your diamonds because they could all be winners. So you're probably best to discard your spades. By the way, if you do discard a diamond, Declarer will just play another club, and now again you'll have to find a discard. And here they play another club. So again, you've got to discard. You've started discarding spades, so you'd probably better stick to it. Discard another spade. Declarer, unfortunately, has got another club, and you here again have to discard something. And if you sort of imagine that South has got the Ace King of Hearts and maybe another heart, you should realize that you want to keep your hearts and throw away your spade there. Now, if they lead a spade, let's just bring up the four hands and see that your partner actually does have a high card, does have the ace here. They didn't have the Ace King of Hearts, but fortunately for you, they had the Ace of Spades. So if they're on the ball here, they will rise with the Ace of Spades, and they will play their last diamond over to you so that you can take your Jack, and your 6 and 5 of diamonds are also good. Okay, and you'll make 5 tricks there. After that, whatever you play, Declarer will win the last 2 tricks, but you'll hold Declarer to 8 tricks there. And you can see that the clue here was thinking about what it meant when your partner discarded a low heart, that Declarer could easily have something like this with the Ace King, and therefore you want to keep your Queen of Hearts protected so that it doesn't fall. If you'd made the mistake of discarding a heart, then if Declarer plays the Ace King, your heart will fall and they'll make the Jack and the 10 as well. So this contract can only really be defeated if your partner can get in again, and it relies on them having a high card there in spades. but you're in a horrible position of having to discard and trying to get the clue from your partner's discard that you should probably keep your Queen of Hearts because your partner doesn't have the ace or the king. Any comments on that? That's quite a tough one, I must say.
Yeah, won't you like to keep the Queen of Spades as well? Because you have
You would
three.
like to.
Yeah.
You would love to, right? But unfortunately, what's happening at this point, if we go back to this point, you can see your diamonds are good, but you want to have a way to get back in, and you don't really know what to. I mean, in the absence of any signal from your partner, you don't really know what to discard.
Mm.
You like to keep your diamonds, so you can take 3 tricks there. So you can't keep your spades and your hearts, and you've just got to decide what to do. But
if you lose one diamond,
sorry,
if you lose one diamond, then you hope to make your Queen of Spade. If you discard the 5 of diamond,
yeah,
I know 3 are good, but it's difficult to decide which one to discard.
But well, it's extremely difficult, isn't it? I mean, the computer says at this point that you must discard your spades to defeat the contract. If you discard, if you discard a diamond, okay, you can do that. Declarer will then just carry on in clubs. Okay, they'll keep playing clubs, and you're going to have to discard again now.
Again, yes.
So it's not easy.
No.
But there is a slight clue in paying attention to your partner's discard and realizing that when they play a low heart, that should probably mean they don't have an honor in that suit. That they're giving you a signal that they don't have any strength in that suit. And really your only hope then is that they have an honor in spades so that they can get in and will be able to lead a diamond to you. Anyway, that was the topic for today. That was a difficult last hand. Just remember, if you only remember one thing from the talk today, that you should try to remember to keep length with dummy, especially when you have 4 cards in a suit. Keep that suit if you can also see 4 cards in dummy, unless all your cards are lower than dummy's lowest card. So that's probably the main thing you should try and remember. Just a reminder about my website now. I'm now up to 1.39 thousand subscribers, and we've got 200 videos on there. So anytime you are looking for one of these topics, I will put this talk on there too. You can go and have a look for it on YouTube. And just one other little topic you may notice in the scoring today, when you look at the scores, you say there's this little thing about switching to a new version of Bridgewebs here. If you do that, you'll see a slightly different user interface. So if you click on that, then it comes up with a display like this, and it's got some new features in there or new display. So you can click here, for example, on your name, and it's got a slightly different layout for the hands that you played. If you don't like it, you can click here to go back to the previous version.